Salutations, my name is Summer and this is Reading with Quaker Cats, and I thought I'd update you guys with what I've been reading. I've been mostly focused on In Memory May, and I have completed 2 books for that event, and I am currently in the middle of my 3rd and final book for the month. So anyway, In Memory May is reading a book in memory of someone. So I've really been enjoying that. I wanted to do it last year and then I never did. So I'm glad I finally did this year. And hopefully if you guys are reading something in Memory May, you're enjoying it also and thinking about that person. So one of the books that I finished that I absolutely loved, I read it in memory of Scott Bryant at the Bookish Bryants, and this is Bleak House by Charles Dickens. This book, I was not looking forward to reading. I have put it off for years and years. I don't know if you can hear Randall snoring, but he's behind me, and Sylvie's in front of me, and Rolo just jumped off the bed. Anyway, so this book, I started years ago, and I didn't get very far into it, and I just had no interest in it. You know, the whole John Dice versus John Dice and trying to figure out why that court case lasted forever and all that. Anyway, this time going into it, I knew it was going to take time for me to read. And so I just went in with a different mindset, and I want to tell you, I absolutely loved this. I loved the mystery of it. I loved the characters, and there were so many characters that, like some of them didn't last very long, coming in and out, and some of them did, but you know, they would touch your heart in different ways. And I also really liked that Esther was one of our main characters, because every couple of chapters or whatever, it'd be Esther's narrative. And she was so wonderful, and John Dice was so wonderful. And then we had a young couple who, you know, getting caught up in that, well, him, not her, about the whole thing with thinking money's coming, and what is that whole thing about counting your chickens before they hatch? He was doing that and relying on something that was never going to come. But anyway, this book had a lot of mystery to it, and it was just so much fun to read. I absolutely loved it. So I'm looking forward to reading it again and again and again. And also, this is just some cheap, I think I got this at like Ollie's or Aldi, not Aldi's, Ollie's. But it's a Premier Classics. And like I said, I think it was just a couple of dollars. But it is a really nice edition. It has the pictures in there. And it just, like, look at this. It's so nice to read. So, something else I read and finished was Peril at In-House by Agatha Christie. This is a Peril. And I read this in memory of Alice at Alice's Giant Bookshelf. And I was not close to Alice, but she was a big part of our community, and I remember watching her videos and commenting, and I know it was a great loss for everybody. Scott and I were actually, Scott and I were friends, and we would talk, you know, message back and forth about books, and the same with Becky. I love Becky so much. But anyway, Alice, I didn't know that well, but I really enjoyed watching her videos. And she was a big Christie fan, so I read this in memory of her. And I will link everybody's channel down below. So anyway, yeah, but my thing is, the funny thing is I don't enjoy Christie anymore. I've noticed the past 4 books, I don't read her often, but the past 4 books I've read of hers, and I just find myself like, not caring about the characters, not really caring what happens, and I know that's horrible. So I don't know. I do have a couple more Christie on my shelves that I haven't read, but I don't even know if I'm going to read them. I may stick them in my niece's bookshelves for her. These editions, which I'm not even sure HarperCollins. I really do like these editions. This is, like I said, it's a Hercule Poirot, and it has where it is in the Peril series, which is really nice. So, but I'm not going to be keeping that. So the third thing and the final thing I am reading for In Memory May, because it'll probably take me till the end of the month, is I am halfway through Dracula. I love this edition. I was going to say I don't buy these anymore because I did have a Middlemarch, which I'm not a big Middlemarch fan anyway, but the white on Middlemarch started to peel off, and so I was worried that this one was going to peel off as I was reading it, and it hasn't yet. Maybe it's because it's the black instead of the white. I don't know, but it's still beautiful. And I just feel like it's perfect for Dracula. Anyway, Dracula, and maybe it's because I don't read horror, but it has been so scary. Picture yourself like in another country. You don't know anybody there. I mean, everything about the surroundings is creepy. The wolves, which every time I hear of wolves, I think about My Sweet Antonia by Willa Cather. If anybody has read that, you know about the whole story they tell in like the middle of the book about the wedding and the wolves. Anyway, I can't hear wolves without thinking about that book and what happened. Sylvie is staring at this ribbon. I have a feeling she's going to want it. Anyway, Dracula is so scary. So he's not now, but he was, at his castle, and everything is creepy about it. Like, everything has me on edge, and I've read this a couple times, but this time it seems like it's getting to me more. And maybe it's because I'm taking my time with it. I love that it's in the letter format, epistolary or whatever. But the idea of not knowing anybody, this is the time where he would be writing letters to Mina or wherever, and to know that the Count now was reading his letters, so he can't trust that the letters will get to where they need to go to. And also he has to be careful what he writes. Then the ladies in the castle and him being like, don't sleep anywhere but your room because it can be dangerous. And him trying to leave and he can't. Watching the Count climb down the walls. It's just, oh my goodness, I feel like it's so scary. But anyway, we're to the point where Lucy, what has happened to Lucy has happened. Van Helsing has now came to Mina, and Mina has typed out all the shorthand for Van Helsing to read, that was written by her and Jonathan. And Jonathan is now feeling, I guess, like validated because he thought he was losing his mind, and now Van Helsing's like, no, you're not. And so he feels stronger. He's getting his health back. So yeah, that's where I'm at in it, and I'm absolutely loving it. And this was in memory of Shondi Standfast, our dear friend that we lost in January. So, two other things I planned. There's a lot of work happening out on the road in front of me, so sorry about any kind of noise. So anyway, I'm going to link Brandy's channel down below at the Book Collectic. She has a thing about Book Trek, and I do have some Star Trek books on here. I'm not sure who the author is. I'll let you guys know as soon as I start it. But it's book 1. But you guys know, Star Trek, there's so many authors, there's so many different types of series going every different way. So I just know it's older. I think it was written in the 60s or 70s. So maybe it's like the original. I don't know. But I'll link to her channel down below. And another channel I'm going to link down below is a wonderful channel called Saracen's Salute. And I got this book from the library because he mentioned it on his channel. He has, I think, 3 videos out now about like starter library, and it's all like it's history. This is Saladin. I'm sorry, I'm not for sure how to pronounce it right this minute. I had it in my head because I actually looked it up how to pronounce to make sure I would pronounce it right, and of course now I'm not. And The Fall of Jerusalem, and this is by Stanley Lane-Poole. One thing, I read the preface. There's 3 prefaces in the beginning of this. And one that I read that I really enjoyed was it was talking about how this author is not prejudiced, which to me is very important because, oh gosh, this day and age, it is so hard to believe anything that we read, and it's so heartbreaking to me about everywhere. It's people are trying to pit people against each other, and this has always upset me too about all the different wars, and it's just about people being greedy, why we can't respect people and care about people and lead by example, I guess. But it's deeply ingrained prejudice that is about people in other countries. Unless you are lucky enough to travel and meet people, and then that's like when I speak to people and they are prejudiced about whatever country, because there's a lot of people prejudiced about a lot of different countries. But I'm always asking, like, oh, have you been to that country? Have you met anybody from that country? Have you spoke to anybody from that country? And most of the time it's no. It's what they've heard, which, anyway. So yeah, I'm excited to read this, and I'm excited to go back and watch his other 2 videos about the history. I think, so there's another book in my library, or I went to order from my library and it wasn't there. So I actually ordered it from Thrift Books. That's going to be coming to me. Oh, okay, I'm guessing here. I think it's called A History of Middle East by Peter Mansfield. I think I could be wrong about that, but I'm really excited about that book also. So getting back into some nonfiction, getting back into some Star Trek for June will be a lot of fun. Anyway, I'll link everybody's channel down below. Definitely check them out. I hope all of you are doing well. I hope you're enjoying your May. I know weather has been so weird. It's so humid here today, but then I see, I don't know, was it Kelly who had snow? Maybe it was an old post that I saw of hers, Kelly over at Books I'm Not Reading. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Let me know what you're reading and how you're doing, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.